What you doing? I'm the AC, and this is alcoholandanime. Woo! Okay, and special, very special thing. I'm not alone this time. It's been a while. It's been almost a year, especially with this my first guest, returning guest. It's Blue.
What it do? It's your boy Big Blue. What's going on, y'all?
It actually has been almost a year because last time we did a podcast together was for the Sword Art Online movie, which was about a year ago. Maybe almost a year ago exactly. I don't remember exactly when it came out. But even more of a special guest, a specialist, I would definitely say. And first time guest is Ayessa. You're not going to
What
say
else?
anything? Oh, okay. There
No,
you are.
just hello.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Finally, and my dream of having, well, one, I asked to join me in any of this, and then just having three guests or three people on a podcast. It finally happened. Also, I didn't have to go watch the movie alone. That was nice. So the movie that I am talking about is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. The movie Scarlet Bond came out on the last week for us. Well, January 19th. Huh, I could look that up. January 19th,
Sounds right.
2023. I think it's 19th or 18th. Wait, let's see. 10,
My
yeah,
memory is too
19th.
bad.
It was definitely a Thursday. I'm pretty sure it was the 19th. Shouldn't have waited a week to record this. Probably would have been more fresh in our minds. But hey, we got lives, and coordinating people takes time. So, yeah, we're finally together. Uh, well, we'll talk about the movie, of course. We'll talk about things we did leading up to the movie, of course.
Mhm.
Fun group we had. A lot of spite, I feel like, went into this towards me from a certain someone, which I'm going to mention later. You laugh, but it's you. But of course, because of the nature of the anime and the way I titled this anime, it is alcohol anime, so we're going to start talking about alcohol first. So, since we saw this in a movie theater, and our movie theater is lame and does not give us alcohol, or sell us alcohol at least, we were not drinking during the movie. So sad. If I was back in Hawaii, I could drink a lot during this movie, which I used to. But I'm assuming neither of you drank beforehand, mainly because I was with Blue beforehand, and I didn't see you
Yeah.
drink any alcohol. I had a beer while we had dinner. Um,
I was in bed
you
until the last
you were
minute.
literally in bed until last minute, and
In
it's
my
like,
PJs.
so I'm
And
the only
then,
one.
yeah, pretty much.
Well. Okay, so I had a single beer earlier in the movie. That was it. That's all the drinking I did that day, and it's fine. But now we can drink, and I'm pretty sure I'm still the only one drinking because that's what happens when not alcoholic, but someone who likes alcohol makes a podcast. He drinks during it a lot. Uh, so I'm not a very creative person. Anybody listening to this podcast has probably figured that out. I'd mainly drink drinks straight. I do not mix that much. Blue got a little bit into mixology at one point. I don't think that lasted that long though. Uh,
Not really. Most of the alcohol now sits on top of the shelves in my brother's house, so
Nice.
nice.
just hundreds of dollars worth of alcohol just sitting in there.
Yeah, well, I've had hundreds of dollars of alcohol flow through my belly, but right now I just have a nice, not super expensive bottle of Ozo. It's like a Greek liquor, kind of similar to sambuca, or it kind of has that same taste as like Jaeger, almost a little bit, uh, like that. I don't know, earthy or licoricey kind of taste. You've had Jaeger, right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
definitely. I was gonna say like kind of like a licorice type taste for sure,
Yeah, it's not
which I
that.
like.
Disgusting.
I like it a lot.
It's okay. I just want to try it because I never tried it before, but I've had this bottle for a while, and
I'm
I
never having anything that's gonna taste like licorice.
yeah. Oh, kind
Way
of
too
like the
many bad memories.
yeah, kind of like that absinthe y kind of taste too. Somewhere in there, they're all slightly different in flavor, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. But all I did was take that and some grenadine syrup, because it's red, and the main who's supposed to be the main character, or the main focal point of this movie, he's like red in color. I was like, that's clever enough. That's easy. That's all the work I'm going to do for that. And then that's all the work I did for that.
Fun.
But I mean, the idea was like to be more deep about it. I guess it was like, oh, you have this like strong kind of drink, but there's a little bit of the sweetness hidden in it. And yeah, there's depth. Also, an excuse, but it's not bad. It's like still just Ozu, but with like for some reason I put syrup in it. That's what it tastes like. It's kind of red though. Not red, but red enough. My other problem was since I did episode on One Piece Film Red, I already used up all my red not thinking for drinks, and that's as far as I got on that. So this is where I open it up to having two guests who could possibly give me ideas for other drinks, or if you know of other red themed drinks. Anything pop in either of your minds?
Fireball.
Fireball. See,
Fireball, dude. I just had a shot of Fireball the other day, and I remembered why I hate it.
I mean,
Cinnamon.
I was tempted to get. I hate cinnamon flavoring by itself, but I was like, he kind of did a lot of fire stuff. He read.
Oh yeah. Wait,
Very
was there a lot of
creative.
fire? I guess there is a lot of fire. I
Yeah.
didn't really think that much about fire. But here's the thing, and this is what's going to happen. This is the problem that's going to arise with doing a lot of episodes of this podcast. I've already done Fireball. That was the very first episode, which Blue was also on. And I drink a lot of that. So
Wow.
I feel like I can't copy myself too much. But also, I do agree, Fireball works a lot too. But just Fireball, we can mix up
Anything
could
that
we
has,
add anything to Fireball, I guess I'm saying.
I guess, more grenadine, man. That's more red.
Yeah, just make it redder.
Just add grenadine to anything, and there you go.
Wait. They have there's a cheer wine,
Oh,
like a, it's red,
it is
but
red.
it's also cherry.
Oh,
So if you're feeling bubbly instead of grenadine,
so you're just
I
going
don't know.
no alcohol, or are you putting Fireball in the cheer wine?
In the cheer wine, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would work.
I don't want to die that much.
Now, do you feel like it fits the character? Oh, we didn't even say what the character's name is. The main character
Wow.
is Hero. That's what he's named. Um, so, do we feel like these drinks represent the character of the character?
I know he kind of spicy sometimes.
Yeah, definitely pretty
Oh, that is
spicy.
true. He's very rash and jumps to
Oh yeah.
conclusions
Oh
immediately.
yeah.
So yeah, no, you're right. Now,
I
okay,
know I'm right.
yeah, okay. So, that's who the movie. Who I thought the movie was going to really focus on was this character. It did a little bit in the beginning, but then kind of faded away. He doesn't really do that much. But of course, we gotta create a drink for who actually is the main character of the whole series, and Rimuru. That's the name of the slime, right? I
Yeah,
suck at
remember
names.
Rimuru.
I feel like there's an obvious one we could do. Alcoholic slime. However you would make that.
dude, like Jello shot.
Jello shots.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
jelly shop, obviously, like in a blue raspberry or something like that.
Dude, I had my first Jello shot in Portland, Oregon, and I'll be honest, it was amazing. It was just like literally just eating Jello.
Really?
I loved it. Yes.
Huh.
I think the flavor was like blue Hawaiian or something like that. So
Oh.
it was so
Very.
good.
It'll work perfectly. If we could get a mold of some kind for just a round jelly
I
shot,
have that.
yeah, I feel like that would be
Little
easy to
round
do,
thing.
and somehow make it look like Rimuru. Yeah, so that's an easy one. Some kind of blue flavor, blue Hawaiian, blue raspberry, just blue.
Blue Lagoon.
No, that's weird because
Just
you're
me.
blue. Yeah.
You get like a blue curacao type of
Oh yeah, blue.
liqueur in there. Just make it blue.
Yeah, just make it blue. Easy one. Of course, it needs to be strong, really strong.
Oh
So
yeah, we can make it strong.
No. It needs to look sweet, but then when you actually take it, it's like, oh, it be strong.
of course, yeah.
Like that it creeps
Just
up
like-
on you because he's like, he's like cute, and then he's like, haha, I'm not hurtful, but then he's like this OP character, Like, don't mess with
Of
me.
course,
Yeah, and then you
super
remember
OP.
he's a demon lord, and you're like, oh.
Oh
Yeah, duh.
yeah,
Like, oh, actually, I'm a demon.
very demon lord, and that comes into part of us trying to figure out when this movie is going to take place before we ever got there. But what other characters? Of course, so we have to make a drink for Diablo.
Yeah.
Because that's the only
Yeah.
reason you even came to see the movie. Not because I was going to be seeing it,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
partly
Because
because he's in there, and also because Blue asked you, and find like that would be a funny way to just spite me.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm speaking for all the fangirls. It's Diablo. Come on.
Okay,
Like he
well,
just needs to appear on screen for 1 second, and done deal. But also, yeah, Blue kind of bugged me. He was like, "Hey, you coming to the movies, or where are you at?" And I'm like, "Is my rule with having text messages before it's actually official? You probably forgot that."
but no,
But the rule was
kind
for
of
people to text me, or else I won't think it's real and just not show up.
I asked you to your face multiple times. I feel
Yeah.
like that's so much more
Well,
official.
no, it doesn't matter because people I've had people talk to me. It's like, yeah, we're gonna make plans, and then they never do anything unless if it's like in a text message where it's like in a group. And yeah, you did tell me a lot, but also Blue texted me, so I was like, I can't disappoint the dude. Can't.
That's right.
Yeah,
Plus,
well,
it was worth it because the movie was just that good.
It
oh,
was good.
oh, okay. See, this is why I
That
like having
Diablo scene.
people join me. That way I can have someone that will disagree with me. It gives us more
Mhm.
to talk
Mhm.
about. The movie
Well,
was okay. We'll get
I
more
like.
into that, but we need to keep making drinks. That way it gives me more time to drink before we get to that point.
Well, for Diablo, I don't know. I still have the black pepper vodka shot that
Oh,
I have not
yeah.
tried yet.
Something tall, dark, and
Uh-huh. Peppery.
peppery, yeah.
Hey,
Chef's
we should
kiss.
also do a violet color drink for that other primordial that we saw in the movie,
Yeah, violet.
which I think was awesome. I think it's cool that we got to see. I think it was the third or fourth primordial we've seen.
Is it? I guess I haven't been
Mm.
keeping up with it that much. It's been a long time since I've seen the actual show. I wish I could had time to rewatch it, but I was almost not.
Honestly, I have
No.
a lavender syrup that I use for coffee on occasions.
Gotta put
So,
some of that in like a
like
just
anything,
mix it with anything.
almost anything.
Hmm. Okay.
Add it to the grenadine.
Okay. So just more
Yeah.
syrup and syrup.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. Why not?
I mean, I guess that's the point. What's the alcohol though?
Just like a clear alcohol, like a vodka or something. We could
Yeah,
do
vodka.
Simple
like a
vodka.
berry flavored vodka, or maybe
Tequila.
or tequila.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. She's just like very. I'm bored. Let's cause some trouble. That's kind of what tequila does to me sometimes.
Okay. I mean, now that's a good way to describe it. Now that you say it.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, one day I was bored and just had a bunch of wine.
Hmm.
What a fun time
Nice.
on
So,
an empty stomach.
oh, nice.
Because I'm
Okay.
very responsible.
Yep, you sure are. So,
Anywho,
Diablo's drink was just that paper vodka.
I don't. So
What?
I mean, I also have like coffee liqueur. So I was just gonna find things that are dark in color, just mix it together. Hopefully, it tastes good.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. If you say so.
It's
I
gotta
mean,
taste mysterious, just like
Oh
Diablo.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like you gotta look at it and it's like, ooh,
yeah. I mean, Diablo's cool and all. Definitely should have expected that reaction. I didn't expect him to be in the movie at all, but as soon as he popped up, I was like, "Damn, okay." Should have saw that reaction coming.
should have seen it coming.
Yep. Um.
I
You
think
need
I was the only one that squealed too.
probably.
Yeah.
Well, here's the surprising part. There were not only was did I not have to go see the movie alone, there were other people besides us who went and saw the movie too. And this is the
Hmm.
opening night because I have gone to a couple of showings where I was the only person there. So it was nice that people actually showed up to this one. That's good for
Yeah.
anime films.
Got
Uh,
to hear the parts where everyone thought it was pretty funny. which
Oh
I
yeah,
always
I
love.
heard a lot of people laughing. Mainly like the two people that came in before me in funny scenes.
Oh, yeah.
I was buying my tickets and the people before me, which I didn't know what movie they were watching, but yeah,
Hmm. I don't remember what those parts
I
would have
know.
been. I'm glad you two seem to enjoy the film more than me because I was just like, this is all right. Like most of it was like, okay. After the beginning, I was like, yeah, this is fine. This is reincarnated as a slime. This is pretty much what it is. Fits it
Yeah.
perfectly. But it's also like, but what? Where's the rest of it? What's the rest of the movie? I always felt like
Well,
something was lacking.
Wait, we're forgetting a person though.
Oh, I
The
know. I
other,
was trying to get to it, but then I was
okay.
let you say what you was gonna
I was
say.
like, we can't forget
Yeah, the other redhead ogre.
redhead. I was talking about the female.
Well, female. There's other females. Oh, we
Toa,
could do the
Toka,
Toa,
queen.
the queen of
Toka,
Raja.
of
I,
course.
I wish she did the queen too. Didn't think about that. But we also needed to do the other ogres since they were like best friends or brothers
Brothers.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like we should do all
Benimaru.
the ogres, but that's a lot of characters, so we don't need to spend too much time on every character.
Yeah.
I think Benimaru had a
Benny
lot of
Mari, that's right.
screen time
Yeah, he did.
or correct pronunciation. I can't do so
That's fine.
Good.
Uh,
good.
but thinking of what his drink, he's also red color. That's the problem. How do you make a drink that's different than Hero?
Honestly, they're kind of both of the same. Like they don't really think before they just swing their sword. If something angers them or something just doesn't, look right, they're like, "All right, I'm gonna fight."
I mean, Benamar is a bit more level-headed, but
Well, now he is. I mean, obviously, since season one of the
yeah,
actual show, he's matured.
he has matured. But yeah, I guess we can say the same drink for him. Uh,
Well, speaking of maturing, I guess some sort of wine,
oh yeah, a nice
aged like fine
red,
wine.
red wine. Yeah, that works. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sorry, other ogres, and my favorite character of all, the small goblin, God,
Oh,
Gota. Is
yeah.
Gobuta?
that
Gobuta?
Go?
Gupta.
Yeah, Gopta. He's my favorite, but we don't need to get into his. There's just so many characters in this, which is one of the problems with movies like this. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you give all the favorite characters
Well,
enough
here's an
screen time?
honorable mention. In my eyes, he's a baby, so some sort of virgin drink.
What? He's not baby.
In my eyes.
He is pretty young.
I mean, yeah, he is, but yeah. Okay.
Maybe some sparkling water with it to give that kind of,
No, it has to be. He can like travel in like shadows too, or something like that, right?
Yeah, he did learn that some sort of
yeah.
shadow stepping, which is really cool. He is a really good character. I'll be honest. He's awesome.
He's a surprising character.
And
Yeah.
whenever
I'll say that.
I was thrilled, and this is getting the movie, but I was thrilled when he was like the first one of like the main group to pop up. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he didn't really do anything else. So okay, what's the queen strength then? This will be
Well,
the last one.
Melon.
Yeah, something with melon
Is that-
liqueur in it, like.
Is it just because you have melon soda you're drinking?
Well, also
Oh,
she
her
had
hair is
green.
green.
Yeah, she's got some little green pony, like pigtails type thing
Also,
going on.
she's a sweet person.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
She's
Great
sweet,
character.
Okay.
poisoning herself for
I'm
her
gonna be
people.
honest. I
Exactly.
completely forget what she looks like. I'm
She
so
looks like a
glad
kid.
you two joined me on this
Oh.
because I forgot so much about this film apparently. Okay, yeah, Melon, I can agree with that.
Well, there
Everything
you
you
go, dude.
said.
Got you a picture of her right there.
Okay, cool. Wait, oh, she has green at the end of her hair. It's not
Yeah.
completely
Mhm.
green. Okay, that makes more
Yeah,
sense. Sure, yeah, I agree with
But
that.
it
Something
stood
melon.
out to me.
How about sour? But
Green apple.
but yeah, like a sour apple little bite because she starts getting like tainted a little. Like it's
Like
not
a
a bad
poisoned apple
flavor,
drink.
but it is something a little different.
Like a poisoned apple drink.
Yeah, something like that. But it's not like, yeah. Just something, give it a little twist at the end. I don't know how you would do that drink wise, because I feel like they would just mix up. Um,
Mm,
you could do it on the rim maybe,
yeah,
so that you get
like
that. Yeah,
sugar rim, and then people are expecting, oh, it's gonna be sweet. No, it's sour.
because I don't think those two kind of drinks would layer on each other, so they would just mix immediately. I don't know, but yeah, I like the idea. Melon, maybe green apple as it goes along. Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Pickle shot.
Pickle, no.
Ooh.
Let's not do that. We can do pickle shot for whoever that main antagonist is, because that sounds gross and he was gross.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And I did say antagonist, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's drink wise. There's a lot of characters we could go on forever. Uh, we kind of mixed in a little bit of our movie going experience with it, so we're just. I don't think there's really much more we need to talk about as far as like our experience to go see the movie. Was there anything else? We had another friend that came with us, so there was actually four of us. Let's see, I had a beer beforehand. We went to the theater. There was a handful of people there, a hand more that came in at the last minute, including
Ayessa was
Ayessa.
about to sleep.
Yeah, and then she came just to spite me.
Hmm. Right
Uh,
on the dot.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I was surprised. That's for sure.
I'm a little disappointed there were not more anime film trailers. Usually there are.
I think there was one.
There was one for Suzume, I think,
Oh
and
yeah,
that's the only one I remember.
yeah. I think that's all there that it showed.
Did they
Just the
show the
one.
new Sword Art Online trailer?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Weird, because that one's about to come out. Okay. Yeah, so that's the movie going experience. No, we didn't do anything afterwards. We just left. Yeah. All
I
right.
went back to my bed.
Uh, the theater. It's a basic theater. It's not the cool ones. Uh,
It's small.
yeah, it's fine. It works. I'm just glad there's people there besides us,
Yeah.
because that's good. Especially since we're not in the biggest city, but it's not super small.
It's growing.
It's
It's a
growing.
grower, not a shower.
Well, I mean, it showed us this movie.
It did. Yes, it did.
Okay, well, yeah. So I guess we actually move on to a little. Here's we don't need to go through like a whole recap because I do that when I'm alone just because I need something to talk about. But we can talk about like our favorite parts, any problems we had, me or the parts that you loved, you two. Uh, because there was a lot of stuff I was just like, well, some of this doesn't make sense. Before I name any, first, what was your overall? If you were going to grade it or rate this movie, how would you compare it or rate it? You know, Blue, you've
Well,
seen other films with me, so you could rate it compared to other anime films. I don't think, honestly, you've seen any other anime films besides maybe Howl's Moving Castle.
Not in the theaters. Well, yeah, besides House Moving Castle.
That's the only one.
I've watched the Demon Slayer, The Train,
Oh yeah, no, that was one, yeah.
that one was good.
Book of Atlantis, but it wasn't on our theaters.
I don't know that one.
It's Black Butler
Oh,
because
okay,
I'm a weeb.
okay, yeah. Oh, I remember you telling me about that now. All right, so yeah, you get to compare it to other films too. So what would you rate it on a whatever kind of scale
Um,
you want?
Honestly, 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I was gonna say something along the lines of like 7 or 8 out of 10, like maybe like 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, yeah.
I would give it. I would give it a 7 at a very very highest. Really, it's like a 6 for me. Like it's not bad. That's the thing. It wasn't a bad movie, but because I've seen so many other great films, it's like it's just lacking in stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's also not
Yeah.
The
fair.
ending,
Yeah, the ending was kind of
the
lackluster.
ending was kind of blah because are we talking about like our worst parts or like our favorite parts?
I mean, just overall, just what you would think of the
I wish
movie.
the ending could have been a little bit better, but I don't know how.
Yeah, I thought it could have been bigger,
I mean, honestly, if they would have lost one of those characters, I don't
Yeah.
care which one, just any of them, it would have been a little more like heart wrenching, I guess.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
that's exactly the problem I had. It was like, all right,
it's like
you
too
know,
much worked out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah. Hero dies because of the power. It makes sense. And then Toka, just because she's a sweet cinnamon roll, she's like, no, I won't let you die. So she, uses the last bit of her power, and then she goes away.
And it's like, oh,
Like,
that makes
I feel
sense.
like, yeah, no, it's like, all right, there's a death. It's like, oh no. And then she's like, wait a minute. And then there's another death. It's like, oh no. And then Violet comes in and is like, actually, and then they both live. Happy ending, but also
yeah, at the same
you're
time, like
playing with my heart too much.
yeah,
Yeah, that's one of the problems I had with it. I also kind of saw it coming, uh, but
Yeah,
it was
I did
like
too.
they're just trying not to disappoint anybody or make anyone sad.
Yeah,
But also, it
yeah,
fits like the show, how the show goes through. I mean, Rimuru when Rimuru became a demon lord, uh, and you only seen the first season, right, Ayessa?
yeah,
Okay, well, when he becomes, I'm going to spoil it. Whenever he becomes a demon lord, he uses that energy to bring a lot of them all back to life. So it's
yeah,
like it makes sense. It's not like anything just out of
yeah,
nowhere. And then like the anticlimactic kind of nature of the ending also fits the show because Rimuru is so overpowered. That's usually how his fights go, anyways. There's
yeah.
true.
The fight. I was kind of waiting for the dude, like, to do his ultimate move or whatever, just to like see his deadpan face. It's like, oh, he can just eat it all up, Rimuru.
hmm
But it kind of just cuts off, and like Rimuru uses gluttony and just like gobbles everything down. Like, I didn't see the reaction on the other side. I would have loved that though, because that would have been another hilarious like point of view,
yeah.
or just another laugh point.
Oh, I also forgot to mention anyone listening. There's going to be spoilers. I always forget to say that. Too late now, I know, but you kind of knew what you're getting yourself into. But yeah, I mean, that anticlimactic, the Rimuru coming in, just being overpowered, that's fits the show. That's why I'm not too disappointed, because that's kind of what I expected. Thinking of the show, like the only really big fights I can even think of is like when he was fighting like the big orc boss or whatever.
Yeah,
That was pretty huge and actually had some weight to it. And ever since then, it's kind of just been like, oh, okay, you're so overpowered now, nothing matters.
Yeah. Like I just feel like he can beat anyone now. Ever since,
yeah,
especially whenever he just beat Clayman, which happens towards the end of the second season. So
Yeah.
it's just like I feel like he could. I feel like he could even beat Guy Crimson if you remember him,
I mean,
the
obviously
the
he
red
can beat.
primordial.
Yeah, he obviously beat anybody now.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from just being protagonist plot armor, he's
I
going.
feel like he just needs to eat them.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just eat him.
Like,
to see
he
him.
doesn't even have to do different attack moves. He's just like, all right, time to
Um,
use
Yeah. I guess
whatever they call it.
the one time he had trouble fighting someone was that one girl. I think her name was like Sakura or something like that.
yeah,
But
the
with she was using that one sword that could like damage his soul or something. You remember
yeah. I
Like
think
a
I know you're talking
seven
about like
seven
out in
hit.
just randomly in the field or something like that.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
out in that field, and she kind of like cornered him with some barriers and stuff. That fight was pretty crazy. Like he almost,
yeah. That's pretty much the only real fight he struggled in.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I think
Hinata,
about
I think
that.
is her name. Hinata. I knew it was a name from freaking Naruto, but
Yeah,
interesting.
something like
So,
that. I mean, Hanada's also a pretty common name too. I don't
Yeah,
remember her name at all, so I'm going to trust that you're right.
I think I'm right. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. But yeah, so I mean, there are some cool moments, but I feel like none of them last long enough. The other problem is there's just so many characters. I want to see all of them have a cool moment, and they kind of don't. It's weird. I want to see Gopta have a cool moment, and
I
that's
feel
that's
like
my real
that's
problem.
more of like the other, like, that's where season one, season two is. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen season two yet, but you can't just come in, like the movie expecting all of them to have
Why
their
not?
moment.
No.
I mean, it would be cool. I would watch, what, 3 hours worth?
Yeah, it was
That'd be
almost
cool.
2 hours. That was actually nice. That it
Yeah.
wasn't like super short. It was an hour and
Yeah.
50 minutes. Almost 2 hours. So that's cool. They could have made it longer. I feel
True.
like they should have.
I feel like they got a little like hesitant to make it longer because
Yeah, they're
like,
always like that.
oh, are people gonna stay to watch?
The quintessential quintuplet movies was over 2 hours. There's no excuse anymore, and that's a rom com. That movie lasted forever. Yeah, I already did an episode on that. But uh, we'll skip over until I think of more stuff to talk about. We'll skip over that and just let's talk about. I'll let you two talk about the parts you really liked.
Well, I guess I'll start. I like the thing about the show, the anime that I really like right now is just how overpowered Rimuru has become.
Yes.
And so every single time I see him fighting anything or just doing anything with his power, for example, like eating that whole lake water and then just like
Hmm.
purifying it and then putting it back. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, he can do that. I forgot. He can pretty much do anything. I just love it. Seeing him swallow the I guess the main antagonist's final uh move there at the end. It's just like, okay, yeah, that was nice try. But which I think the main antagonist there at the end was Lakua, something like that.
Hmm.
Sure.
But yeah, I just love seeing Rimuru use his overpowered abilities that he's accumulated over the past couple seasons.
Yeah, I mean that
Pretty
is
awesome.
cool, especially when you can swallow a whole lake. Uh, it's stuff like that that I do like about the overpoweredness, and but it's just when it makes the fighting itself boring. Which I don't know if this show was ever meant to be like super cool fights, because never.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's just like it's becoming one of those like One Punch Man things where it's like
Yeah.
he won't lose a fight, but it's still like it can have some entertainment value. For example, like someone seeing him fight that hasn't seen him fight and
Yeah.
doesn't know how strong he is, and they learn. They're like, oh, like
Or
this
like
is
unexpected. Because again, he's like, a slime in
right.
his form, and
yeah,
new people are like, oh, he's just a slime, blah blah blah. And
Yeah,
then he actually like does OP stuff like
yeah.
swallowing the water or gobbling up the antagonist in one go. They're like, oh,
Befriends
he's a
the
slime.
befriends a dragon and just surprises
Oh
everyone like, oh,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
Lord, this is
It's
the
like, oh yeah, that person over there, he's the dragon.
yeah, that's Veldora. It's like, oh,
And he's my homie.
he's just reading manga in the corner.
yeah. That I mean, the humor with all the characters is the best part of the show, and even this movie. Uh,
Another part was Milim, um,
oh
the
yeah.
other demon lord. They're like, oh, you're also friends with the demon lord.
Oh yeah.
Now that's one of the discrepancies that's the word. I don't know that I have with this movie. They this whole time, Hero, they've known about the Tempest, this town or whatever city
Hmm.
for monsters. They known about this whole time, but they somehow didn't know anything about it. Like you never thought to go there and check before this. That's why I thought it was like still pretty early because you get the very beginning of seeing Heroes Pass, and which was my favorite part was the very beginning, seeing him fighting and that desperation and like the color of it, the gloominess. I thought that was all really cool, and I thought the whole thing would be just focusing only on him, pretty much. I wish it would have. Thought the movie would be a lot cooler if it was focused only on him, and then everything else would happen around him. But then there's so much time because this movie takes place after Rimuru's already a demon lord. There's so much time in between. Uh, how did he not ever think at that point in between to go check out this?
Well, I mean, he could have been like training, hardcore training. I don't know.
I don't know. It was just like a stretch for me. It's like,
But also, like, I feel like Tempest keeps to themselves. Like, besides their networking, they're just, I don't know.
yeah. But I mean,
Plus,
he's an ogre. You think he would have like got curious and wanted to check this like
The
city of
ogres,
monsters? And been like,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's other ogres there.
But
mm,
also he's from technically from the country of Raja, since that's where he's like staying, and that's where Toa like pretty much
yeah.
named him and brought him back to life. So He's and
So he's
also
probably too busy serving her, and like,
yeah.
you know, since he's getting poisoned and stuff, he's getting weak. Like, I'm pretty sure he would just want to stay there to see, you know, if she needs anything.
Yeah, I mean that's true. But
Also, I think his timeline is a lot different from like Benny Maru's, for example, because Benny Maru was actually in the villages, I'm pretty sure, whenever they got attacked,
Yeah,
whereas Hero was just a mercenary that was out doing
yeah,
work for Clayman
yeah,
for a while.
yeah, but he still shows up. Like he would have if he wouldn't have got attacked by like Clayman's other mercenaries or whatever. He
Mm.
would have made it in time before the village was attacked. So it's like the timelines isn't that different.
I
Uh,
guess but also he was also like a lot. Well, no, I was gonna say he was a lot older seeming, but I think they're all about the same age. I think we saw them as kids
yeah.
yeah,
or
he's
youngers,
like
and
the bigger brother
yeah,
role, but
definitely
he's not that
older.
much older. I don't know. That was just one of the things. Like that whole time you didn't think to go check. That bugged me. Uh, Another thing. I know I'm being pessimistic. I'll talk about some of the things I like here in a bit, but it's just things that stuck out to me that I want to make sure I mention. Uh, Whenever she names him, she talked about how she used a lot of her like power, I don't know, energy or
Yeah.
whatever to name him. Never they don't mention at all in the entire time of the movie that she also used like the power from all his other fallen comrades. You see like their spirits or whatever come out of them and go into him. They never mention it to him at all the entire time that happened. Also, you remember?
To him, like to Hero.
Yeah, they came out of his like comrades that were like dying or dead. They might not even been fully dead, and they came out of
I
them and
don't
all
know.
went
I
into him.
I kind of understood what she was talking about. Like he understood that it kind of came from his comrades too.
Really? I
The
feel
way
like
she was like talking to him. But again, you know, it's from my point of view.
I mean maybe, but to me it
I feel
sounded
like it's
like
more perspective.
I felt like she just wasn't telling him just to save his feelings because if it's just like oh they died and then she could only save him, it is a lot less hard to hear than they gave up their souls or their life force in order to keep him alive. I think she was purposely trying to like cover for them to keep it less
Mm,
heartbreaking because with his personality and how he is, he probably
yeah.
would have taken it a lot harder if he realized his comrades gave up their life force to help him. Because you see, the one who could still talk was like begging her to
Save
save
him.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of thought that. But then they never mention it at all. But obviously, that's kind of what happened. You think at some point it would have been brought up. That's all I'm saying.
Side note, I was looking at the American or English voice actors, I should say, for some of the characters, and your favorite character, Gupta, is voiced by someone named Ryan Reynolds, and I looked it up because I was like, "There's no way it's like the Ryan Reynolds, right?" And I was corrected. So, girl, no,
Hey,
she's just a voice actress for a bunch of different stuff, from Funimation and Crunchyroll.
wow, what a
So,
weird coincidence. I mean, we
yeah,
saw it subbed, luckily, so we don't
yeah,
Yeah.
have to worry about that. What? There's another Ryan Reynolds?
yeah. She
Usually
goes
they
by
have,
Ryan Reynolds.
huh? Usually they have to put some kind of like distinguish or
Yeah,
to,
maybe like the E from Elizabeth maybe in between there.
yeah. Huh, okay. That is an
Isn't
important
that
side note.
yeah.
Uh, don't know.
I was about to say because can you imagine Gota being voiced by the Ryan Reynolds?
No, yes, I
Yeah,
I
okay, yeah,
can.
he
That'd
probably
be,
would need his own movie.
I would definitely watch dubs a little bit more.
Oh yeah, me too.
Uh,
Speaking of dubs, like, how do you feel about them?
Some of them are all right personally, but
Very
most of the
rare,
time
yeah.
I'd rather listen to
Yeah,
sub.
me
Yeah.
too. Sometimes I do have to. If I'm listening to dub, it's because I want to get through the show just to know what is happening in it, and watch it in the background. But also, I've had to watch some of these films dubbed just because that's the time that was available to me when I could watch it. And I always make sure to point that out and to complain about it every time I have to do it because, of course, I'm going to. That's the kind of person I am. Luckily, this was only subbed. That's the only choice we had.
And I loved it.
I
Yeah.
did too. Subbed is always better. I had a feeling the fourth person that was with us
Would have
actually
liked
preferred
it English.
dubs. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't ask. But I did make a comment at some point in the way. The reactions just seemed like, okay. Were there any other parts before I start talking about the things I actually did like? Because I'm not that pessimistic. Any other parts that you kind of didn't make sense or didn't like that much?
Uh, Not that I can really think of right now. I thought,
Hero just being so dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
that
what's his name again?
the
The
antagonist.
antagonist.
oh yeah,
Because it was really only him.
Well,
Wakwa.
it's like yeah, like they know that he's kind of sketch,
Yeah.
but yet Hero just like, oh yeah, there's a secret, there's a reviving. He doesn't even question it, and I get it. It's like, yeah, I want to revive my queen, but it's like, come on, dude, like you're not. This is so sketchy. Like in the middle of the night, let's go to some dark corner and just talk, and then gives this like, like this weird looking ball for him to swallow. Like you just don't question it. It's like,
Not the
come on.
smartest move, but
Yeah, you think his first
He-
reaction, or any of their first reactions, be like, hey, let's get Rimuru back on the line. He fixed all this. Let's
yeah,
talk to him immediately. Super powerful. Everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
that's one too.
Not,
Like,
hey,
why?
weird person who does sketchy business. Sure, I'll swallow this ball. Called a curse.
Well-
It even had curse in the name. Why would you?
yeah.
Well, here's another thing though. Before even that all happened, it's like, how did the water get poisoned again?
Yeah.
Bro, after
Like they
Rimuru
could, like
claimed
that
it?
point where it's like they can call Rimuru and be like, "Yo, there's poison in the water. Did somebody
Well,
activate the ancient thing again?"
Or even if like he messed up, any person, any Karen would be like, "Hey, you said you fixed this. This isn't fixed. What's up?" Anybody would complain.
Yeah.
Even so.
I mean, I get it for the plot, but also
Well, yeah,
it's
of
like
course.
in my brain, it's
Plot.
just like, so nobody bothered to ask how it got poisoned, or I still want to know how it got poisoned again. They didn't say anything about it.
I guess we just have to assume.
It's
Blah
just
blah blah.
Same
Guy.
Or
ritual.
Lakua or the
Like,
Yeah.
Shikwan guy. There's two bad guys, I guess, that were.
Were there? What was the other?
Yeah. The other one was the Queen's
Oh yeah, like
supposed doctor.
yeah, but
whatever.
he
Yeah.
was kind of lame.
Yeah.
He just shows up and then he like reveals himself as like a bad guy and he's like, okay, my doggy's gonna
He
eat
just
you now.
doing it for the
And
money.
that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what's his name? The dog. Ranga. Ranga?
Alright, something like
Danga?
that.
Yeah.
He just destroys them.
Yeah, like nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
he
parts
kinda
that are
cool.
cool. Yeah, I like when you
Danga
see
kind of had his own time.
a little
I
bit,
like
but
that.
yeah, at least it showed up at one point. I do like when
Also-
the other characters get time to shine.
Wasn't Ranga like riding on some sort of like rainbow there in that movie?
Yeah.
Was that in
Yes,
the
something
anime
like
as
that.
well?
I don't
I don't remember
remember. I don't
Yeah,
think they.
it was
Okay,
Um,
I mean, I'm sure. Or
when he's fighting in season 1, fighting the dragon thing that came from Zeldora's whatever, the Charbris, whatever it's called.
I don't remember. It's been a long time.
It's in season 1, but that's where you first see that Ranga can fly with the
Oh.
rainbow thingy.
Is it a rainbow or is it just condensed air, like compressed air,
Who
that
knows?
causes a distortion of light that makes it look like a rainbow? I think that's what it probably actually is if you try to silence it out. But yeah, I'm not
Right.
gonna remember
Too
anything
much
from that far
thinking.
away. I watched the show when it first aired, and if I looked up correctly, that was back in 2018. It's been almost 5 years since I actually
Wow.
watched the first season. Then the
I'm
second.
super late.
Yeah, I mean it's not super super late, but actually it's later than I expected. I thought the show started much earlier, but I guess not. But I mean, I've seen all of it, both seasons, and then Slime Diaries. It's hard for me to remember all this stuff. Uh, but yeah, it was cool. He had a cool part, and then of course your favorite character, Diablo. He probably had like the coolest part in it with
Yeah.
his weird fight thing with Violet.
He's just so cool.
Yeah,
That's all.
I mean it's cool, but
Like
Also,
he's so suave. He's like, I know who did it. Let me talk to him. And then he's like, he goes to Violet's like little lair and just like, so you want to, work this out or do you want to fight?
and they fought.
yeah. And I remember Violet being surprised whenever Diablo told her that his name is now Diablo instead of
Yeah,
Noir. And that
yeah.
made me think, like, does Violet not have a
No,
name?
they're
Is
not
she
names. They're
No.
like kind of
colors.
jealous? Yeah, she's still
Well, it's
Violet.
not her name.
Yeah, it's
It's
not.
more of like what they call each other.
Yeah.
But no, she's not named,
It's
to
their
my
like.
knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know
Because
what
it's
you
like who
consider a name.
who right in their mind to name like a primordial like archdemon.
Who would even be strong enough to do that? They're
I
already
think
so
Yeah.
strong.
Well, that's why she's surprised that he even got a name because I remember her asking like, who has that much power to name you?
I remember in the anime, whenever Rimuru did name Diablo, I think he like went into like sleep mode for like
Yeah,
days after just one name. So
Yeah.
it must have taken a lot of I guess energy or whatever. I'm not sure what they would call it in the anime, but
I've been thinking of it as that life force or whatever. But
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Diablo, sure, it's a cool name. I like Noir. Noir.
You are.
Yeah, I think that's a cooler name. But can you
We
just rename him something he already is referred by? Is that considered a name?
Yeah. Well, not referred by,
probably.
but since I freshly watched the first season, the lizard dude,
Yeah, Gabiru.
he
Gabiru.
yeah, Gabiru, he just renamed him Gabiru.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, you should have just done that because I don't know. Noir's cooler than Diablo. Maybe it's just because I'm used to the name Diablo more. That's just something more
Yeah.
common you hear. But whatever, it can do whatever.
Well, I
Uh,
feel like noir is very common too. So either or.
I guess.
Here's a little fun fact. Among all the executives of the Jura Tempest Federation, Ranga is the only one who doesn't have a humanoid form. Isn't that
Oh,
interesting?
Oh,
you think he'll
that
get
is
one? He
interesting.
might get one eventually. They always do.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, look
I
at
don't know. I kind
Veldora.
of like him in his wolf form.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
The
cool. But I
little
mean,
puppy.
Veldora also got human forms for some reason.
That's true.
Even though he's a lot cooler as a dragon. But
true.
I guess it's harder to read manga in dragon form.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
He'll just end up tearing all of them.
Hmm. But so yeah, to me at least, the coolest parts was Diablo and Violet's fight. I thought that was really cool. The very beginning was the coolest part, just the whole mood of it, and I just wish they would have focused more on him because it feels like once they go and get Rimuru, it becomes all about Rimuru, and it's like only he's the only one who's able to do anything anymore. Uh, but besides that, the other part I really liked is I did like the whole like chase scene. I thought that was just cool
Yeah.
cinematically to watch with and like the whole minecart thing. That was cool to watch. I mean, of course, it didn't last too long, but it was a neat time, I guess. And then swallowing the water,
Anytime,
impressive.
anytime Ranga does his little awoos, it like cracks me up so much because I know it's a person behind that microphone trying to howl.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
That's just like a favorite part that throughout any of the episodes or like even this movie, it just like cracks me up every time.
That's not. That's endearing. That's yep. That
Well, listen, just because we gotta point out like favorite scenes, like
no. I mean,
gotta
I like
gotta
that
have
kind
some
of thinking.
wholesome parts, you
Yeah.
know. Also, I just have a large affinity for dogs, and he's a big puppy.
Yeah.
I'll say that he's like a big puppy.
Oh, another part I really liked was when I don't remember his the orc and the main orc dude, Gerald,
Geld.
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 So
Geld.
always think he's really cool. So I like seeing his fight with Hero and like him just like
Oh,
I thought that was a cool
well,
moment.
well, beside another, okay, yeah, that more endearing, I guess. Whatever, just like side likes, I guess. When he finished, when Geld was like, I can't win this fight. He just kind of like he knows why this
No, hang
person
on.
is mad at
I'm
him,
going to say
and he
it's
just
not that
kind of
he couldn't
stops.
win. He probably
He
could
can,
have won. He
but
just had no
he's more of
reason to
like
win.
he's more of like he just stops and just accepts it. And I was like, oh, my
Yeah, because
heart.
he feels bad of what the orcs
Yeah,
did. I absolutely think he could have beat Hero, but he
For
was just holding
sure.
back because he knew this was an ogre. He even seemed like he recognized or knew there was probably some kind of connection directly to Benimaru.
well, like I feel like every one of them still holds like, oh yeah, we did crap to them.
I don't know.
But that was just like a part in my heart. It's like, oh, poor baby.
I just really like Geld or I say I really like him,
Yeah.
but I can't remember his name exactly. Just because like kids love him too. I don't remember if it's like that in the first season, but in it's like that in the second season, right? Or was it just Slime Diaries? Something either Slime Diaries or the second season. Kids love Go. They're always all over him, and he's always just trying to like work. I think it was Slime
Yeah.
Diaries probably.
It probably
He's
was
like
fun
this
back.
big worker dude, and then just like least expect kids to like, you
Yeah.
think they'd be scared of him.
And he's really strong because you get to
Yeah.
see more of that strong side of him in the second season when he's like fighting one of whatever people.
Yeah, the people from that other country.
Yeah.
He
Uh,
pretty much murders all of them. Those fight scenes are also I like those ones where they get pretty violent.
yeah, and they don't
Like
hold back. I do like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Ooh,
and except for not this movie
the
because this movie was kind of just like okay, nothing too. Well, no, I guess the beginning when everyone's slaughtered, kind of.
the
Yeah,
last part too, where Rimuru was like, "All right, you can kill him now."
yeah, but you don't
Because
really
then, like,
see it. See it.
you don't see it, but it's like you get a reminder. It's like, oh yeah, they're under Rimuru. They're also strong.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, when they're like facing the other three underlings that are being
Yeah,
controlled or whatever. Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Forgot
They
about
were
them.
just like, listening to his orders, like, don't kill him, because they're still conscious or they're being controlled, whatever. But then when they turn into the goons, whatever they're called, they're like, all right, time to kill.
That was another part that I felt like this movie could have been longer and had the each of those three fights just been more grand, I guess, or give the other characters at least a little bit more time to shine or fight and do all that stuff because you don't really see it. You see them wrap up the fight, but you don't really see any kind of struggle with it. It's more like they were just wasting time, biding their time until they got like the go ahead to do whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just this is stuff I complain about in pretty much every film. Not long enough. They could have been bigger, more climatic. Am I using that word right? I don't know. Everything can always be bigger and longer. Um.
amen to that, brother.
But
I
yeah,
have no comment.
it's not a bad movie. Like I said, like I did enjoy it, and it does fit like the tone of the show perfectly too. It's just I'm always going to nitpick if I get a chance. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you two seem to like it, and I'm glad you two seem to somewhat agree with the things I said. It's just not like my criticism is completely off base and
Mm.
whatnot. Any other moments that I'm missing that should be pointed out?
Um.
The honey, just the honey being medicine.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know why, but like it was kind of funny to me. It's like people are all thinking it's like this complex thing, and then Rimuru just whips out a honey.
Oh,
He's like, "Take this."
yeah.
He's like, eat
Just
this, and then she's like,
literally
oh,
candy. She's
maybe I
like,
feel
oh,
better.
Yeah,
Honey,
random.
honey.
it's just kind of just like not expecting, but also not surprised.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
It's just kind of
It
random.
is random. That
I don't. To me, it's just random. It's like I
yeah,
don't
that
know.
that moment's random, and you bringing that up as a cool moment just seems random to me. It's like, oh, okay, of all the things, that little. I mean, yeah, yeah.
You
That
can't tell the drink is kind of hidden.
what? Oh, so you are okay. I can't tell.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
well,
alcoholandanime.
good. I'm not the only one. Way to go, Blue.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
more cooler than a certain someone.
Uh-huh. I
Mhm.
don't drink, guys. Listen, I'm sober.
Oh wow, he's a good
No,
goody
that's
two
fine.
shoes.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
going to
Okay,
peer pressure anyone to
I'm gonna
drinking.
peer pressure you.
Okay, well, I'm
Okay.
not
If I
going
had
to.
alcohol, I might
As
drink.
as the official host of this, I would just make sure am at least drinking. I feel like
Okay,
that's
Blue, I
my
will.
duty as a host. You all can do whatever. As long as you're willing to talk about alcohol, that's what I prefer. And you two
Oh,
did. And then, of course, well, you do need to watch this thing. That part is the important part. As long as you're watching whatever the anime is. But overall, you know what? Talking through, even though I gave it a bunch of negative rating, I'll bump my score up to like a 6.3, 6.5, something like that.
Wow,
Like
by
because
a
it's not
full
bad.
point 3 and 5.
I only give it a lower score because I've seen much better or like a lot cooler stuff. I enjoyed a lot more. I wouldn't even say maybe it's not better, but stuff I enjoy a lot more. I mean, it has some tough competition. Not long ago, I went and saw One Piece film Red. That movie had a whole lot going on in it, and even that movie, I was like, wasn't as great as One Piece Stampede or the second My Hero Academia movie. So there's just a lot to base it off of. Uh,
yeah. I mean, I like the movies just because like it's like a very long episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
And the
It's like
anime,
one
it's
season all in one go.
yeah. And I like the anime, and so having a very long episode like that, I just enjoy it. I like it a
Oh,
lot.
but yeah, it is cool that it feels like a really long episode. You know what I feel like is even cooler? If they just
What?
turn this into episodes,
Which they probably will, just like
which
they
they
did with
probably will because
Mugen
Crunch.
Train.
Yeah, I mean Crunchyroll is the one who helped bring this movie to us, so
Mhm.
they're most likely going to split it up into episodes and put it on. Or
And if
I
they
mean,
do that, we might get bonus content as well, bonus like
hmm
that's true. So I
scenes.
hope they do. From what I saw looking into this movie, more info. This isn't part of like the actual books, uh, and therefore anime, but it is written by the same author, and is so I guess this is still canon to everything else, or it makes sense
More of
in
a
the
side
timeline.
story.
So
Yeah, I
they probably will
also
put it in the anime, making it
yeah.
make sense canonically.
I saw someone say it was non-canon, but for me it seems super canon, but at the same time it probably doesn't have to be. Some of the stuff is like no, we don't need it in the actual,
Yeah, I
you know
mean,
what I
a
mean?
lot of people would say this is filler, blah blah blah, but no, it's going to be anime canon now. It's not necessarily light novel canon, but that doesn't mean it's just. A lot of people. This is a whole different tangent, but I'm going to go on anyways. People are like, if it's not in the manga or the light novels, then it's filler. No, this just means the anime has a different canon now because time goes on and they realize they can put more in it. Filler, people just use filler too much, but yeah, this is anime canon. It's not going to be in light novels. They might make a light novel for it, but I'm pretty sure it's written by the same guy. So, or girl, I don't know, the same author. So it would still make sense to fit in the anime, especially since they talked so much about past stuff that happened in the anime, especially stuff with Clayman and becoming a demon lord, all that stuff. So it fits right in, and they could easily slide this into right after the second season, kind of. But yeah, it might get an episode treatment just like Mugen Train did. Who knows?
Here's another fun fact. Despite being referred to as brother, by nearly everyone in the Ogre Village, Hero actually has no biological siblings.
I mean, that makes sense. I didn't. I mean, I figured he wasn't their
Yeah, I
actual
figured.
brother, but that's just
There's,
a common
yeah,
thing in Japan to refer to
yeah.
someone as.
I think Ben.
Older, someone that's, you know,
Yeah.
brother or sister.
And
I
I
think,
mean, it also makes sense as to why he went off to become a mercenary.
yeah,
But okay,
doing his
sure.
own
Nice.
thing.
Thanks for the fun facts.
Yeah,
Either way, well,
I'm on top of it today with the fun facts, man. I got
you sure are.
plenty of them.
They're very fun. I've been having a blast. I really have though. It's been really cool to have other people actually join me again on this. I'm gonna have to make sure to bring more people on, either you two or other people. I don't know. I don't care if it's other people. I do care if other people do join me, but I also enjoy having you two on. Blue, you're a returning guest, so you know how this is. It's the first time, but thank you both. If is there anything else before I start wrapping this up that we should mention about this? Oh, I don't know. Do you have any predictions from maybe where the show will go? I mean, that's a lot you could predict, obviously, but or anything you want to see, or anything you would also want to see in the film.
I want to see
Mm,
more primordials. I think Violet
yes.
will definitely be back.
Oh yeah.
Um, I want to see I want to see more Guy Crimson, one of the demon lords, the red primordial.
Mhm.
I think
Uh,
he's pretty interesting, which I don't think you've even seen him yet.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a prediction though
Okay.
about Violet. When she asked what name or the dude's name that gave Diablo his name, I feel like she's gonna try to get a name also. Or like, pull a Milim kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm your friend now too. I don't know. I
I
feel like
could
she's
see
that
her
type of
trying to
girl.
find someone to rival Rimuru and also try to get a name from someone just as strong. Maybe also go to a demon lord. I don't know. Well, can
I don't
demon
know. I
lords
feel
name
like
people?
she'll go to Rimuru just because plot armor, you know.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like her and Noir aren't like on bad terms. I feel like Noir, if anything, will be like maybe go to Violet and be like, "Hey, you want to come work with Jura Tempest?" You know what I mean? Like the
No, I feel like he'll be
Federation.
more of like taunting her. It's like, look what I have and you don't.
Yeah. I'm sure she'll get a name eventually, most
Yeah.
Yeah.
likely for Rimuru, and then she'll be just as strong, and Rimuru will have another primordial on his side. Whereas Guy Crimson also has two other primordials on his side. He has the blue primordial, I think, and the green with him.
Hmm.
They were in the final season when you see him.
There's so much I forget. I wish I could
Yeah.
have went back and rewatched it. I thought, but it's kind of a long series for the two
Yeah,
seasons it is.
yeah, it's decently long. I like it.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
really
I
like
like
it.
it too. For even though I'm sick of isekai, this one it's good enough for me to stick with.
Yeah. It's one of those isekais that I can watch and be excited to see the next season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
It's
It's
definitely one of my top isekais.
top. I mean, it's definitely one of my top isekai, but I wouldn't say it's one of my top anime.
Yeah, probably not.
But I mean, it's a good enough isekai. It's at least funny enough to be entertaining without being like too stupid. It's not stupid, but it's humorous. Yeah, they're
Hmm.
overpowered, but sometimes it's cool enough. It's still cool how they show off the overpoweredness without being too ridiculous about it. Uh, oh, I did see Rimuru's voice actress. Fun little story. I've seen the Rimuru's voice English voice actress at which one was it? I think it was Kawaii Con
In
in
Hawaii?
Hawaii. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it
That's
was
pretty cool.
either that or Honolulu Comic Con. I don't remember exactly which one, but yeah, I have seen her. Uh, I don't know. She seemed nice enough. I don't know. I haven't watched the dub, so I don't know if she does a good job or not. Probably not. Pro-
Probably
Probably
not.
not a bad job, but probably
Being
nothing phenomenal.
pessimistic.
No, it's because, especially with newer voice actresses or actors, I don't know why I say actresses, but just newer voice actors, they all just kind of sound very similar. They all kind of try to be the same character. Uh,
Yeah.
they
There's
don't
very few English voice actors, right? When I hear them, I'm just like, whoa, I love that voice actor.
like,
There's a lot of Japanese voice actors where I'm like, wow, like those are fucking sick.
All of them.
All of them.
yeah, like early
Especially,
2000s, like 90s, early 2000s, they had like good English voice actors, and then I don't know what happened. They all just started sounding very similar to me and the same. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying to me, they're just no one really sends out anymore.
yeah.
Which makes no sense because if you look at this is a completely different tangent, but we're going to go on it. If you look at American cartoons, those voice actors are all great and they have such a range. I don't know
Bro.
what's going on with anime where they get
Well,
these.
I feel like it's because American cartoons, it's like we know our lingo and all of that, but in Japanese, like anime films, it's more of like there's non-verbal stuff, like more of action sounds that doesn't really translate well in like let's say English dub.
I
I don't know if
guess.
it's I'm not probably making sense, but it's like the gasp, you know, of like certain characters, and then American actors try to copy that, and it just sounds so off.
Yeah, maybe. I
Or
mean,
like,
that might be it. I don't know. Because I can, if you go back and look at all the older anime and those English voice actors, a whole different world of skill. Uh, I don't know. It's weird to me. I don't know. But we don't need to go on that tangent. Yeah, I'm just expecting more cool stuff. Mainly just seeing everyone else besides Rimuru getting stronger and seeing more cool fights from them. That's pretty much all I'm really caring about at this point. I don't know anything about if there's going to be a season 3 anytime soon. I'm sure there is. It feels obvious like there's going to be, but
Yeah, surely.
I'm sure it's going to
Eventually.
be cool, wherever
Yeah.
it's going to be. But any last thoughts? Otherwise, I'm about to wrap up.
Um,
nope.
I can't wait for the Demon Slayer movie coming out, even though it'll probably
What?
only be like a little bit over 2 hour or a little bit
Oh
under
yeah,
2 hours.
that.
And the first half will just be the last two episodes of the last season. But hey, that's fine. We'll get like an hour maybe of new episodes. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm not. I just want to go
Yeah,
straight to just the series. I
yeah.
mean, because I feel like
It'll
there's
be a
no point.
while. I feel
Yeah,
like this movie comes out and it's not until like a couple or a few months after that before the actual series begins.
yeah.
So,
Doesn't it start this spring season or is it summer season?
um, I'm not sure. I know the movie comes out in like March or April or
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay. Well, yeah. I guess we'll see whenever that happens. I already read all
Yeah.
the manga for that, so I know exactly what happens. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Well, yeah. We'll look forward to that too. Sword Art Online movie comes out. From when we're recording this, it comes out in like 2 weeks. So that would, wait, no, it comes out next week. So that would be
Mm-hmm.
cool to look forward to.
Heck
Uh,
yeah.
I guess if I do a podcast on it, it might come out in 2 weeks. We'll see. But okay, I guess that's it for this one. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, returning guest Blue and new guest Ayessa, for joining me. I really mean that. I'm not trying to sound sarcastic. I don't know how I sound, but I really am glad you two joined me on here. I really, really am, because it's fun. It's fun to talk about the films and stuff like this. I'm just glad you also watched the film with me. Uh, because it's a lot more fun to do these with people. Even though I'm fine with doing it by myself when I have to, a lot more cool conversation I feel comes out and different perspectives. That's the other important part. But yeah, thanks for joining me.
Of course.
Yeah. Had fun.
Okay, cool. And you know what? Hey, all you people listening to this, thanks for listening to it. Especially if you listen to all of my rambling and all the things I said. But thanks for listening to them too, because honestly, they probably have better points than I do. But yeah, thanks for listening, joining us, all that stuff. If you want to find more of me, you of course can. Oh, stuff I like to do. Hey, are there any questions I should ask anybody listening to this? Of course, which characters would have the best strengths, and what strengths would those be? What's your favorite parts, worst parts of the movie? What you think they could have done better? Just tell me anything about the movie you want to add on to our little commentary if there's anything we left out. Um, you two have any questions that I should be asking?
Um, who's the sexiest primordial? I think it's Diablo personally.
Heck yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, you can answer that question too. But yeah, you can tell me all that stuff wherever you find most convenient. That could be my email, theacstories@gmail.com. You could find me on social medias, also the AC Stories, wherever that would end up being. Uh, they're all over. I also have a Discord. You can join that. All these links I will of course provide in the description from where you're listening to this. But yeah, I'll say it once again. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Ayessa. Thank you, everyone listening. Until next time, this is it for Alcohol Anime. I'm the AC. Bye.